Et salut à tous les amis, c'est Roro945, j'espère que vous allez bien. Nous voici de retour sur Vampyr pour la 4ème vidéo de ce let's play. Parce que oui, hein, maintenant on peut appeler ça un let's play, puisque bah voilà, c'est la 4ème vidéo, et puis bah voilà, on va quand même vivre ensemble l'histoire, bon, l'histoire dans ses grandes lignes. Et puis on verra, voilà, s'il y a des quêtes annexes ou autres, on verra si je les ferai directement ou si je les ferai un peu plus tard, soit en off ou si je vous les présenterai. Ça va dépendre de l'avancement du jeu, parce que mine de rien pour le moment, eh bien on n'a pas réellement eu le choix de choisir entre faire des missions de quête principale et des missions de quête annexe. Donc bon, on va voir un petit peu si ça change, puisque là on est, si vous vous souvenez, à l'hôpital, enfin devant l'hôpital où le docteur Swansea nous a proposé un poste, donc un alibi pour voilà, pour notre sortie nocturne. On avait également récupéré un échantillon de sang sur le premier boss ou mini-boss qu'on a dû affronter. Et donc on va devoir analyser ça. On avait eu aussi une petite scénette ici avec un mec qui s'était fait poignarder, et on avait eu le choix entre l'amener dans un coin et le tuer, donc lui sucer le sang, ou bah, tout simplement de le laisser en vie. Donc on a été gentil, on l'a laissé en vie, et le mec il est là.
What happened?
Voilà, donc voilà un petit peu les derniers événements majeurs de la dernière fois. Donc maintenant on doit aller eh bien, je pense visiter un petit peu l'hôpital, et surtout voir eh bien l'échantillon de sang. Alors on va juste, je crois que je l'avais fait ça lors de la dernière vidéo, mais je refais juste un petit tour. Ouais, on refait juste un petit tour. Voilà, des bouteilles de verre. Enfin bon, c'est bizarre parce que je n'ai pas l'affichage en entier quand ça apparaît sur les extrémités de l'écran comme ça. Il manque quelques lettres. C'est assez bizarre. Ouais, bon bah, tu vas attendre un petit peu, le temps que je fouille un petit peu pour pas oublier quelque chose, hein. Bon, bien que je me doute qu'il doit pas y avoir un truc de caché juste ici. Allez, on va aller la voir, là, la Dorothy. L'hôpital ne peut plus accepter de nouveaux patients à cause de l'épidémie de grippe. Hôpital complet, veuillez rentrer chez vous. Donc on voit que déjà...
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the 2nd floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
Ok, alors on va aller voir quelques détails. Donc c'est bien, donc ne l'ayant pas tué, il va être soigné dans l'hôpital, ça marche. Alors bon bah elle, rien de précis. Ah bah déjà c'est le pilier. Le pilier du quartier. Ok. Alors, on a quelques
I
questions.
would like to ask a few questions first.
Eh bien, déjà, comment se porte Monsieur
And
Hampton?
Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Ok.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Ok. Et on
If
va
you
lui
could point me in
redemander
the direction of my room again, nurse.
son
Second floor of the hospital,
premier étage
left
de
after the
l'hôpital, à
stairs.
gauche,
It's the
après
last
l'escalier.
vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Ouais, donc on a eu un
Thank
petit
you,
peu
Nurse
plus
Gray.
d'informations. D'accord. Se reposer pour évoluer. Donc ce qui veut dire qu'on peut... on va pouvoir monter de niveau. Alors. Un petit
Good
PNJ.
evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Alors, on a... Ok, d'accord. Ah bah il y en a des questions. Ah, indice requis. 2. Ok.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please,
Ce qui veut dire qu'il va
speak freely.
vraiment falloir prendre le
This
temps de
hospital
parler
is not
à tous
exactly
les
the best
personnages
of London.
possibles
I'm sure you are used to
pour en
working in a
connaître
better
plus sur les autres.
environment.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled...
Ok, donc je pense qu'on a vu tout ça. On peut le charmer. Bon, ça sert à rien pour le moment, hein, sincèrement. Une question personnelle, bon, il n'y a pas.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Ok, alors je pense que cette vidéo, ça va être beaucoup de parlotte.
We have no effective
Alors. À l'hôpital, évite trouver votre bureau au premier étage. Ok, mais moi je veux fouiller un petit peu avant. Il y aura sûrement des petits trucs à prendre quelque part, non? Ok, donc là, ça c'est fait. Ok, là-dedans. Apparemment il n'y a rien, d'accord. Ok, donc ça, on l'a vu. On va aller là. Il n'y a rien à prendre. Très bien, bon. Je peux tout prendre. Votre ville a besoin de vous. Ville A, vous. Aide médicale efficace est un coût. L'épidémie, les bénévoles sont indispensables. Ok. Ah, toi je peux te parler.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Ok, Pippa. Tu fais partie d'ici. Ok.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Ok.
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough
Ah,
to
je vous
see
lis,
that
hein,
the epidemic is
c'est...
winning.
Ça va être un
And
peu
no matter
fastidieux,
how qualified you are,
mais on est
don't
obligé
tell
un
me
petit peu de
you'll
passer
change
par là
that.
pour la suite, hein, à mon avis. Ok, on va lui
You'd be
répondre ça.
surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Ah voilà, on a eu un petit indice sur Milton. Et puis bah, c'est tout. Hein. Voilà, question personnelle, il nous faut des indices.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
On va aller voir un petit peu au niveau des indices là. Ah, Milton a mauvaise réputation auprès de ses collègues. Ok, bon, on l'a pas encore rencontré, mais ça ne
Dr.
serait pas
Swansea
tardé.
is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Ah, toi c'est Tippets. Ouais, toi on t'a déjà parlé.
Wasted too much energy
Ah,
for so
une
little
patiente.
result.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Elle se prend pour une vampire, d'accord.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Ok.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Ah. Investigation locale. Une nouvelle enquête sur les citoyens est disponible. Appuyez sur le pavé tactile pour voir le menu des investigations locales. Enquête sur les citoyens. C'est ici que vous pouvez consulter les enquêtes sur les citoyens. Trié par quartier, vous pouvez démarrer une nouvelle mission de citoyen à suivre avec carré, puis en consultant votre carte pour afficher la zone à explorer. Très bien. Donc, il y a toi. Fais voir ta tête. Tellement est atteint de syndrome de Cotard, il croit être un vampire. D'accord. Zut. C'est où qu'il faut aller pour faire son... je crois que je me suis trompé. Peut-être en faisant ça. Ok. Question personnelle.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Ok. Bah, au
I'll
revoir.
leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Mauvais cible, découvert qui espionne Thelma. Ok, donc ça c'est une petite mission annexe, d'accord. Ah ouais, non, il y a tellement de personnages là. Je crois qu'il y en a de partout.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good
Ah,
evening,
non.
Dr. Reed.
Toi, on t'a déjà parlé.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Voilà, merci, on s'en fout.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Ok. Question personnelle. Ah.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
Ah. Thomas voit en tellement Horcroft la preuve vivante qu'il y a toujours de l'espoir pour lui. D'accord. Entourage. Ouais. D'accord. Ah,
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
D'accord, donc ça c'est fait. Cette porte là,
It's locked.
elle est fermée.
Good evening,
bah tiens,
Mr.
c'est-
Hampton. How do you feel?
C'est notre
Dr.
patient de
Reed, is it?
tout à l'heure.
Sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Horcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Clay Cox, on l'a rencontré. Donc il est à l'hôpital.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no.
Un chef de gang.
I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Ok. Donc lui, on en a fini, je crois, non?
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Ok. Donc on en a quand même appris un petit peu. Ah, peut-être que si on
Good
essaie de
evening,
leur
Miss
parler.
How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
On a... Ouais, on a débloqué ça.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Ok.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark.
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with the fever.
Bon.
pain. Clear again.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Doctor.
Ah non, toi on t'a déjà parlé.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
L'hôpital a l'air assez rond quand même. Ah, toi t'es un inconnu, on va te parler.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed, yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
Ok.
Since your
Ça a
tenure
l'air
in this
d'être pas
hospital is
mal.
longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Un indice où vers l'aide désapprouve les méthodes de la médecine moderne. Ok.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
Bon bah apparemment, on va
It
pas
seems
partir
you
en
have
vacances
bad
avec lui.
memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Ok, donc lui, faudra peut-être se méfier. Alors, il n'y a rien à prendre là. Toi, on te connaît. Ah. Tiens, c'est bizarre.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Ouais, parce qu'à mon avis, trop de sang, ça va... Il va vouloir le croquer.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Alors par contre, je suis un petit peu intrigué là par cette ce sorte de nuage là. Il y a deux personnes là-bas qu'on ne peut pas aller voir pour le moment. Ah, encore un inconnu, mais il y en a de partout.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed.
Ok, donc lui aussi doit être en train de parler. Enfin, de faire les mêmes expériences que nous.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Ok. Allez.
What can you tell me
On va
about
finir de lui parler et après on va aller à notre bureau.
With your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Voilà, une nouvelle
You seem
enquête.
quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Ok. Donc, on a... J'espère qu'on a fait un petit peu le tour, là. Donc là, il y a une porte ouverte. Ça nous amène dans une autre partie. Donc, toi, on t'a vu. Ok, donc là, on a juste fait le tour. Ah, là, il y a des trucs à récupérer.
So many deaths. And still more coming.
Ok, donc là, pour le moment, on a vu tout le monde.
The life running in your veins. This dead flesh needs it.
Okay. Allez, on va aller voir notre bureau. Donc, ils ont dit que c'était à l'étage, mais là, je regarde juste. Ouais.
It's locked.
D'accord, donc là, une armoire verrouillée. Toi, on te connaît déjà. Ok. Ok, bon. On va monter, donc je crois que c'était à gauche. Et il y avait notre nom sur la porte. Donc ça doit être par ici. Tout au bout du couloir, je crois, de souvenir. Ah, on a un petit truc là à prendre. Une scie usée. Toujours bon à prendre. Voilà, on va ramasser un petit peu ce qu'il y a à ramasser pendant qu'on est là. Docteur Tippett, Strickland, Ackroyd. Ok, tac, nominati. Donc forcément ici c'est fermé. Là ça va être ouvert puisque c'est notre bureau. Dans cette réserve là il n'y a rien à prendre. Non. Ok. Et en plus, on a un bureau rien que pour nous, donc ça, c'est quand même la classe.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Allez, là, on récupère ce qu'on peut récupérer. Alors, quand même, pour un bureau, c'est vachement grand et spacieux. Voilà. Donc là, on peut crafter... Ouais, bah tiens, allez, on va aller voir ce qu'on peut se faire. Vous devez d'abord analyser les composants que vous avez trouvés pour déverrouiller de nouvelles recettes. Cliquez sur les composants à analyser. Bah tiens, voilà, l'échantillon de William Bishop. Donc on va l'analyser. Et ça nous a fait sérum de régénération léger. Restaure immédiatement 300 points de vie, puis 150 points de vie sur 15 secondes. Ouais, pourquoi pas. Donc ça, c'est nos trucs. Moi, je crois de souvenir, j'avais rien amélioré. Alors peut-être améliorer la machette. Quoique pour le moment on est pas trop mal. Donc ça c'est du recyclable, on verra ça plus
William
tard.
Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching.
Ouais.
The
Donc là,
sun is about to rise. I can feel it.
on a eu un peu
continue
confirmation
tomorrow
que
night.
ce n'est pas Bishop qui nous avait
I have so
changé en
much
vampire.
time.
Donc on est toujours en recherche de la personne qui nous a engendré. Ah, une épée. Ah, un flingue hurleur. Ah, bah ça c'est pas mal ça. Et on a une épée. Ça c'est pas mal. 75 de dégâts. Pour le moment c'est... avec la faux, ouais, c'est l'arme la plus puissante. Avec le fusil à canoncier, mais ça c'est un peu logique. Alors là, ça se met tout seul. Alors qu'on me disait qu'il fallait que je me repose. Ça sent la cinématique scriptée qui arrive. Et puis on s'arrêtera là hein, pour aujourd'hui. Alors dans cette vidéo, hein, beaucoup de parlotte. Il fallait s'y attendre, hein, mais bon... voilà, c'est le scénario qui veut ça. Et puis, vous avez bien vu, hein, en parlant aux différents PNJ, eh bien, voilà, hein, on apprend un peu plus sur l'état et la gestion de l'hôpital. Et puis, ben, on apprend hein, des petits indices un peu à droite à gauche sur les gens. Ah bah là, tiens, on a eu un petit chapeau sur nous. D'accord. Alors, est-ce que la fleur se fane, elle a besoin d'eau? Ouais, ok. Pourquoi pas. Elle a besoin d'eau. On a un robinet. Ouais, je crois pas qu'on puisse utiliser pour... Allez, on va faire dodo. Alors, on a 1025 d'expérience. Là, en ultime, on a quoi? Niveau 10 requis. Ok, donc là, de toute façon... Ah, les morsures. Ça peut être pas mal. Ça peut être pas mal, la morsure. Bon, on va augmenter un petit peu... Ouais, tiens, on va augmenter la capacité sanguine aussi. Hein. Voilà. Et puis défensif. Ça peut être pas mal ça. Ah, 600, j'ai pas assez. Ok. Ça c'est quoi ça? Contrairement à on peut pas augmenter leur vitesse. Donc ça c'est pour aller plus vite. 500 c'est trop cher. Ça veut combien? 500 aussi? 600. Ok, bon bah je pense que là on a fait un petit peu tout ce qu'on avait à faire. On va garder un petit peu d'expérience. Voulez-vous vraiment annuler? Non, mais moi je veux confirmer. Voilà.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Parfait, et bien pour sa soif de sang, on verra ça la prochaine fois. J'espère que cette vidéo vous aura plu, même si j'aurais pas énormément parlé et ici il y a eu beaucoup de parlotte. J'espère qu'il y en aura un petit peu moins de parlotte dans le prochain épisode. En attendant, eh bien n'hésitez pas à me laisser des commentaires, à vous abonner et je vous dis à très bientôt. Salut!